cards ready. Do you? You're gonna need them if you want to do a trick with Penn and Teller later in the show. Meanwhile, it's time to meet our next act.
My name is Nathan Marsh. I'm from Orlando, Florida. I'm an entertainer and have been for all my life. Both my parents are artists, so I grew up in a house where you really felt like anything was possible. I got my start doing magic in a small local comedy club, bunch of drunk people, and learning to perform in that environment made me able to go in front of really any group anywhere. The most important element is sitting right where my audience would be and trying to give them what I would want if I was sitting there. The power of magic is that when it's done well, it gives people such an experience that they're not used to, that mask that we tend to wear just kind of falls away for just a second, and we're really able to connect with people.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Nathan Marsh.
Such a thrill to be here on Fool Us, where the most famous magicians you've never heard of leave the safety of our parents' basements for an epic showdown on TV. In other words, this is the Hunger Games for 32-year-old virgins. And ladies, just so you know, I'm 33. We live in an amazing time. I can get the answer to almost any question by reaching my pocket, giving my phone a couple taps, but imagine technology's next step. I want something, it just appears. Tonight, you're gonna be the first people to experience this. You're gonna think of something. My challenge is to make whatever it is you can imagine, bearing in mind it's a family show, real. But it must fit inside this glass jar. Penn, Teller, if you would just kind of take a moment, make sure there's no way in. I'll leave it with you for a few moments. Make sure there's no way in or out of the jar except through the top.
Open it?
Yes, please, absolutely. By all means, yeah, make sure there's nothing in the jar but the faint aroma of the Las Vegas Strip. And as we're doing that, I should emphasize, no one here is in on this. Nothing's been set up. So that you guys know that, we're going to make the process so random, it's completely out of my control. Each of you has a card and a pencil. I'd like you to think of something that could fit inside our jar. This could be a grape, a flower, Danny DeVito. If it's small enough to fit inside our jar, that'll work for our purposes. And as we're doing that, Allison, perhaps you would join me for a moment? Awesome. So we have many hundreds of possibilities, Allison, but we're only going to need like 20 or 30. So I'd like you to take this plate and please go out amongst the people, get like 20 or 30 of those back, and I'll ask you back on stage in just a moment.
All right.
And as she's doing that, Penn, Teller, how is our jar looking?
Looks great, and it
smells good, yeah?
It smells like root beer barrels.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's desperation you're smelling there, the fragrance of Las Vegas. And this is our target, so whatever you guys dream up will make itself inside this space. I won't even touch it. In fact, we're going to leave it isolated in a series of boxes about 10 feet off the ground. So we got a jar inside a box, just about 17 feet above the earth. And it looks like Allison's got a fair number. And Allison, perhaps you join me. The people will show their love for you.
Aww.
It's good to see you. And Allison, yeah, please, just set it down and step back into my office. So we have hundreds of possibilities. No, you can join. You can stay. Can she stay, guys? She gets to stay. She gets to stay. As random as we can be. And in fact, Allison, and let's step into the light, shall we? And so if you would just kind of turn your head and reach inside and grab one for us, Allison, and hold it tightly against yourself. Just keep that card very nice and warm. And as she's doing that, let's see what might have been, because we have a few different possibilities here. So we have dice. We have a dollar bill, not terribly ambitious. Yahoo! I'm not sure what that means, but Penn, Teller, I'd like you guys to hold on to this as well, so you make sure there are many different possibilities. Because had her fingers moved just a little bit differently, Allison would be holding on to a different card. And whatever Allison's holding on to, I have to make it real. In a jar, 25 feet. And Allison, for the first time, what is our object? Shall we take a look? Onto a golf ball. And now for a meaningless, dramatic gesture.
Woo.
It gets better, guys. It gets better. It gets better. show it to the people. Show it to the people for us, Allison. In fact, if you would be so kind, just kind of take the lid off and drop the ball straight into my hand, Allison. Just kind of drop that. Yeah, just kind of drop that straight. Oh, check this out. Check this out. Here, take a finger. Give it a tickle, Allison. Give it a tickle.
A tickle.
It's a real solid golf ball,
Yes.
Allison, and it's a real solid glass jar. No way in or out of the jar except through the top. But the ball doesn't fit through the top. So the only way this could happen is if that ball came into existence inside the jar. Penn, Teller, we have a gift for you gentlemen as well.
Thank you so much.
That is amazing, Nathan. Go Marsh, everybody. That is really amazing. I just want to go, nah. All right, well, gentlemen, stop playing with your balls.
Okay, wow. Okay, there's we don't believe in the supernatural. We do not believe in the supernatural. We are known for not believing in the supernatural. But I think there was some work of the devil here. I do think there was some work of the devil.
We are acquainted. We are, yes.
Yes. There was some work of the devil. You may have borrowed, actually, a shirt or a tie or a handkerchief from the devil, as a matter of fact,
yes, absolutely.
in order to be able to do that. Now, I was very interested in the growing height of that pole.
Yes.
You started out saying it was 10 feet high.
Yes.
Then it was 17 feet. And then it was 25 feet. And yet, it seemed to me to be getting lower instead of higher. Because to put that in there, you needed the chair. But to get it out, you just reached up, because I think part of the pole fell in a little bit to Harbin's ditch. I think there was a little bit of a depression there that fell in there, that you needed the chair to get up, but not to get it down. So I think it was all the work of the devil.
It was, 100%, 100%.
And the golf ball in the jar, I sure hope you could buy these things. I don't know how you did that.
There is a secret to that, but you guys got so much of it that
okay,
we're
thank you.
Yes,
thank you.
So you agree that they know everything there is to know?
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Nathan Marsh. Everyone,
Thank you guys.
for entertaining us so much.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.